Welcome back, all you foodies out there and fellow food truckers. We are live once again from the podcasting studios in Monroe, Street Food Ventures studio, if you want to call it. We got some guests with us tonight in the house, somebody I ain't seen in quite some time.
Yeah,
Glad to have you on board tonight. You have been high now. We got John from John John's Barbecue in the house. And with us tonight, we have a special guest, Ken David from the all-new, and you probably have heard it through the grapevine, the Clear Mountain Food Park that's going to be opening up on Cincinnati's east side of town. Also, tonight, we got...
Thanks for having me, Tim.
We've got all kinds of information on everything happening this week for Cincinnati Food Truck Week. Obviously, this coming Friday is National Food Truck Friday. And that's kind of what was the impetus for us starting Cincinnati Food Truck Week. And hopefully that will be an annual event that we can do every year. But there's all kinds of festivals, food truck rallies, and events that we're going to be having some guests call in, talk about what's going on with their particular events. And so we got a full-packed 2-hour episode tonight. Glad you guys are out there tuning in. And even if you're not, at least you'll be able to download and listen to this over the coming weeks and months to stay apprised of what's happening around greater Cincinnati street food scene. So good to have everybody with us, and we're just going to kick right into it, and we're going to get onto the topic. And I've put up a website for the Clear Mountain Food Park, and we're just going to let you guys do a little screen share on this so you can see some of the architectural renderings, as we will. So if you guys are familiar with the corner of Half Acre Road and what is that, Williamsburg, Batavia?
It's called like 3 different names. Old State Route 32, Williamsburg, Batavia, Williamsburg. So you pick any 3 of those and you're fine. It should get you right there.
Gotcha. So let's just get back to the history of that particular corner, because
Sure.
A good fellow food trucker is set up across the street, 32Q, doing their barbecue there now for several years. And
Doing very well.
yeah, I mean, the day that we were out there doing some groundwork on the facility and taking some drone footage of it, I saw all the cars going in and out of his place, and I was like, well, damn, he's busy as shit. So what's the history on the lot? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've owned that lot for about 45 years. So we've been in that market for a number of years. We've been in Claremont County for a long time. My parents, my family started the Gold Star Chili chain here in town. So,
that's cool.
So we've kind of been brought up in the restaurant business.
Right.
That particular location we opened in 1978 as a Gold Star. And we've owned the building and the property since then. So
Was that the original Gold Star chili?
It's not the original Gold Star chili.
Was that the one that was over in Mount Washington?
That was in Mount Washington. It was
Okay.
an old Hamburger Heaven restaurant that they converted over to a Gold Star chili
Gotcha.
in 1965. So it wasn't too far after that.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But we've been out there for a long time. And so back just a couple of years ago, we decided that we wanted to do something different on the property. So we were looking at different opportunities, and then, of course, we ran right into the COVID situation, and so we just kind of took a breath and just waited to see what was going to transpire. But over the past 10 years, I've traveled quite a bit, not only throughout the U.S., but also internationally. And it's amazing, you think food trucks are just maybe a U.S. phenomenon, but it's not. It's an international phenomenon. Mm-hmm. And I saw them in Dubai. I saw them in a number of different international venues. And so we've always kind of, the property the restaurant sits on the corner, but we have 2.5 acres behind it. So we've always kind of like struggled, what do we do with that? We've come up with a number of different things, but kind of just decided to start doing some real digging into food truck parks. And I've seen them in Texas and some other areas, and they're just so much fun, you know. Mm-hmm. And food trucks aren't just hot dogs and burgers and pizza anymore. I mean, they
not
are.
anymore.
Don't forget barbecue.
Barbecue, no. I'm just saying they're not just that. I mean, they're just such interesting foods. You know, you get so many different varieties that you can come up with, and so it was just an amazing kind of experience to kind of go through what food truck parks are doing and how they're going about it. So we decided to do some research into it, and it just seemed like a good spot being where we were and some of the activities that are going on in that particular area.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a food desert out there.
It
You know,
it is. It is a food
There's
desert.
not a whole lot of choices or options where that particular lot's at, unless you drive a mile or two down the road.
That's very true, and it's surprising really because there is a tremendous amount of synergy in that particular area. You have large companies like Millicron and Freeman, and just recently they announced that Purina Nestle plant that's there, designed within reach, is right there, and those are all within a couple 100 yards of the park. So, and the other nice thing about it is it's about 100 yards away from the entrance to the East Fork campgrounds, which is the second busiest campgrounds in the state. So there's a lot of opportunities there for people, and you're right. There's not a lot of not a lot of places for them to go. So we thought that might be, with everything kind of going on. We thought that would be the perfect opportunity to do a food park right in that spot. And of course, after speaking with you on a couple of different occasions, you convinced us it was a perfect opportunity to do that. So it was.
He's a salesman for sure.
He's sure. No, Tony's been great. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I don't know if we would. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to partner up with Queen City. So
yeah, absolutely. So everything about this park on the architectural renderings, when you got those done and you sent them back, I'm like, holy shit!
I know,
that's the real deal, man.
Yeah, it was a friend of mine, who did it, and I think he was overzealous, but I really.
Well, now you got to make it look like this, kid.
Well, yeah, went from just like doubled my budget, overnight. So No, it's going to be very close to that. I think he did a great job, and obviously we worked on the logo together, and we did a lot of different things to try to get it as close to those renderings as possible. It's just a beautiful park setting there. It's got a nice scape of trees behind everything. You got entertainment that's going to be going on Wednesday through Sunday. You got cornhole, all the different things that
Well, I saw the grass was already coming in. So
yeah,
that was pretty awesome.
It's about ready. It's about ready. We should be, hopefully before the end of July, we'll be open and to the public.
So
that's fantastic.
You just recently got the inspections for the health department, right?
That's correct. Yeah, we so the building is still there, obviously, and out of that building, we'll be supplying all the beverages, adult beverages as well as soft drinks and things for the kids. So we just recently got our health inspection, and we passed that. We now have our occupancy permit, and so food service license should be forthcoming this week. And the liquor board's already been down. They've mapped out the entire area, so we've got 25,000 square foot patio basically.
Nice. That's got to be one of the largest patios in Cincinnati.
I said it's a beer garden. They go, no, we're considering this a patio. I said, okay, whatever you want to consider it. So anyway, but it encompasses pretty much the entire piece of property. That's awesome. And we got plenty of parking there for people. We're working on a number of different other things. We've been in communication with the with East Fork campgrounds.
Yeah.
We're looking at possibly, we don't know if we'll be able to do it by this year, but hopefully next year we'll have some kind of a shuttle service going between the park and the campgrounds. So in case people didn't have, when they're parked,
right,
and they don't have any place to go, they can just every 10 or 15 minutes they can grab a bus. So we're talking with them about that, and there's a lot of cool things that are happening out there.
So people will be able to not only come here during the daytime for lunch from the corporations and the businesses that surround the park, but they'll also be able to host private events. Not so private because it's obviously a public facility, but you'll be able to rent out a portion of the park if you want to throw a big old, bash of some sort.
Absolutely.
I know that the stage, which is the shipping container, was delivered about a month ago.
Yep.
And it's going to be our job as a fabrication shop to get out there and cut the whole thing out and make it into a stage. So that's going to be kind of fun for us as a project.
I can't wait to see that.
That's
by the way.
So we were having thoughts about that. And we were talking about, the distance and the height of it. And we thought, man, that's an awful big drop down if we do the whole thing.
Well, everybody's been asking about that.
So what we have devised is that
you guys are thinking the whole top being the stage?
So it's...
or are you going to lay it on its side?
It's 10 feet tall. And
wow.
we were going to cut it off at the top and go around it and make it about an 18-foot wide opening. And then put that on hydraulic shock so it lowers down and gives them a huge 10-foot deck out, plus what's inside the shipping container. But then we started talking about it, and we thought, they don't have to come 10 feet out into the park because, we started walking it off back in the shop. And I said, you know what we could do? There is 10 feet distance, there's 8 feet distance across the top of that, and we could put in a garage door, making it come down halfway, just like you see in the bars where you got a half drop, garage door. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to cut it off at the halfway point, putting down a fold-down deck that's only 5 feet, and then we'll make a garage door come down and meet it in the middle. So the lower half drops down out into the park, the garage door rolls up inside of the unit, and then you've got that wide opening. And that's a much easier install and a much easier process, and it's not going to be nearly as heavy to lower that entire side of that shipping container down.
Yeah, because it's about 9,000 pounds. So
exactly.
So that one side has to be a ton.
We've been sketching around what we're going to do when we get out there
with plasma cutter.
When we get out there with a plasma cutter, then you'll see it come to life.
Everybody's been waiting. I mean, everybody's been waiting because we've been telling everybody, hey, we're going to cut that thing on site, so I think we'll have quite a crowd.
Well, I know that one of the good things that the food trucks are going to be excited to hear about is the power pedestals that were put in. Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that was a clear negative about the Food Park when we started it, is everybody had to run on their generators. And, when you're doing an 8-hour shift or whatever, I mean, it's not conducive to the environment, especially if you're doing live music.
Right.
You want to have that silence. You want to have that, intimacy, especially if it's an acoustic set on a Wednesday night or something like that. Mm-hmm. So putting those power pedestals in, we just got a picture from you today, and it's it's exactly what an RV park is. It's 50 amp, 30 amp, and 110, all on the same pedestal. Yeah. And there's 8 of them.
There's 8 pedestals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic, boy. You're doing it right, man.
Well, the in getting together with Tony, we just we went through, being in the restaurant business, we were more,
aware,
bricks and mortar kind of. So we didn't know the challenges of running a food truck. And so when talking to Tony, we went through everything, and he said power is a big deal. And so it was, I choked on the original quotation.
Probably wasn't very cheap, was it?
But Duke dropped a transformer for us, and we went ahead and we made the commitment to go ahead and do that.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, they just came in, and we installed them today. Duke turns on the juice hopefully tomorrow or Thursday.
So the lights and everything are already strung. If you haven't seen, the renderings, all the speakers are in for the controlled audio from the building itself.
Yes.
And I've seen all the tables starting to be laid out. Yeah. The grass is coming in. All the gravel's leveled. The fence is up. I mean,
fence is getting there. Yeah.
Sounds like you just need a couple food trucks.
Exactly.
Right? It's getting pretty damn close.
It's getting close, right? Yeah, it's getting close. No, Tony mentioned the speakers. We had initially we were just planning on a few speakers, but the more we thought about it, we wanted to really create an entertainment venue, and the best way to do that is to really have an amazing audio presence there. So we decided to go ahead and we doubled that, so we got 16 speakers on the poles, and
wow!
And we had a professional audio company come in and really handle it for us. And so really anywhere in the park that you walk, it's just kind of a very nice level of music, not too loud, and so you're not blasting from 2 or 3 speakers to try to send it
Right.
halfway across a yard or
Absolutely.
something. So it's got
That's
a nice even
fantastic.
sound.
What an investment, bro. You did a great job.
Well, thank you very much. So, and the nice thing about it is that we're working on, as soon as we get, I don't know what Tony's going to do now with that back of that, with the container, but the plan is to have an amplifier back there to where the musicians can actually plug into the overhead
yeah.
system, so their music will be over the entire.
That's cool.
Yeah, instead of just out of their amplifiers.
Yeah, I mean, I've got up here on the website the rendering of the shipping container as it is built into a stage environment, and you can obviously see that lower down deck is we started looking at the shock absorbers, pneumatic shocks to lower that size of a panel down, and I don't think that's an expense you'd want to incur because they are not cheap. I mean, they're like $1,700 a piece,
Wow.
and you would need to have at least 2 of them. So I was like, yeah, we may have to find a different way of doing this. And that's
You want to put the drummer kind of contained anyway, so the garage door thing's perfect to put him back in there.
Yeah, so I think having just a half stage deck down and the rest of it being contained inside is a better alternative solution. So if you are visually watching the podcast, you can see some of the artist renderings of what was submitted to Ken and what it could and ultimately will look like. It may not start off looking exactly like this as you see in the artist renderings.
It's about 90% there.
But we are looking to try and get this thing to look as close to these renderings as possible. And so you can see that the way that this thing is laid out is exactly the property boundaries and everything are the same. The grass is in the same place. You kept the one tree that I was freaked out about. So I first went out there, what was it, February, something like that? And that tree, I'm looking at that tree, and I'm like, that's got to go. But not knowing anything about trees or being, an arborist of any sort, it's actually a tree that comes alive in the spring and fills out and then dives off again in the fall. And I was like, oh, well, it looks like a dead tree to me. So that's the worst thing you want to do is have a branch fall on somebody's head.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, if you're looking at that, that is exactly what happens. And so the trucks will come in off of Williamsburg-Batavia Road, be able to pull straight in, hook up to power pedestals, and then at the end of the shift, pull back out the other side. There's no obstructions to prevent them from just doing a complete 180 and getting out of the lot. So it's really kind of cool the way it's set up. Now, I know that the building itself is going to predominantly be a bar, and so there is a little service window, which used to be the drive-through, that we can actually have a permanent vendor set up right next to the bar with a plug-in, with all the amenities, and you could service that through the off-season months. And that's kind of similar to what we're doing with the Hamilton project, too. So I think it's a great opportunity for somebody that has a food truck that wants to operate year-round, but doesn't want to get out in the cold of winter and go from location to location to location. And so if anyone is listening to this and that's out there and interested, we might be able to hook you up and get you a location to set up over the winter months. It will be operational Tuesday through Sunday. That's the plan.
As far as the restaurant,
Yeah.
it'll be open 7 days a week.
You're going to be open 7 days a
Yes.
week. Okay. So there'll be no off time for you. No, you had to get past the health department by putting in microwavable foods or burritos or whatever. So on Mondays there'll be burritos. Because you got to give these guys one day off.
No, I'm just kidding. No, we'll obviously play that by ear going forward as far as the wintertime is concerned. So depending on availability.
So right now you're running all the natural gas lines underneath, so there'll be open air fire pits that run off of natural gas. So you're putting in 2 of those, and then tell us a little bit about the backstory of Clear Mountain, because I've had a lot of people ask, why name it Clear Mountain? And a lot of people don't understand the heritage and the history behind that area. So
So Clear Mountain came about. We were looking for, as I mentioned, we've been in that market for a number of years, and we've lived in Claremont County for a long time. So Clear Mountain came about where we were trying to tie the name into the community and the area that we were in. So in doing some history, just checking on things, Claremont County got its name from some French explorers back in the 1600s when they were coming across Kentucky and they were looking over the Ohio through the fog and everything else, and they actually, called it, excuse my French, but they called Clermont, which is in French translated as Clear Mountain. And so, but they call it, not Clermont, but Claremont.
Right.
And so I guess that's the Ohioan way of saying Claremont.
Claremont. I gotcha. So that's how Claremont County got its name.
That's how Claremont County got its name.
Now I know.
Yeah.
See,
so
I love
French
history.
explorers.
French explorers.
Nobody would have ever guessed that. Nobody would have ever guessed that. So, yeah. So that's how. And so we thought Clear Mountain was kind of a nice name anyway, and we liked the backdrop to it, the background to it, and it does give us a story to tell.
So I really like the car concept out there on the road. Everybody says the same thing when they see this picture. They're like, they're gonna have cars parked upside down. I'm like, you know what? You never know. I mean, you can get those at the junkyard for like $20. So
Yeah.
that would be a really cool touch, I think, if we can ultimately add something like that on that side of the fence.
Well, the fence will be up. We're still working on the cars.
Gotcha. So I guess, with all liquor control measures from the state of Ohio, if
Right.
you consider this to be an outdoor patio, as they put it, you have to have definitive blocked off sections in order to post, no alcohol beyond this point or no food or beverage brought in, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And therefore, it is going to be just one giant enclosed beer garden is basically what it is. And,
Yes.
If you've not been out there to see what's coming, I highly recommend a Sunday drive and go out and see what's going on because it is now starting to take shape. I remember when I first went out there and I looked around, I'm like, it's a gravel parking lot, dude. Looks a lot like the old Cove did.
Yeah. Wasn't much to look at, I know.
But, I got to tell you something. The
Yeah.
other day, just up the street, I was driving down the road, and I looked off by chance into this field, and they have these huge aluminum structures that look like they were the entranceway right here that you're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
They're not squared, but the size of these things would be able to go from one side to the other.
No kidding.
And there's like 6 of them out in this field, and they got to be made out of aluminum because they're not rusted. And so I was like, I got to stop in there and see what they want for those, or if they'd be willing to sell one of them. We got to go look at those.
We got to make a trip out there.
I was like, man, that would be the perfect entrance for, off a half acre road if we could find out if they want to sell those things. I don't even know what they are, but they're giant and they're perfect shape. So I was like,
Good.
huh. So anyways, for all you guys that are out there in the food trucking world, the park operations are going to commence hopefully by mid-July. That's about the estimate. We don't have a definitive opening date at this point.
Mid to late, yep.
But we fully anticipate it to be up and running before the end of July. And so if you go on to clearmountainfoodpark.com, you can go on here under the tab mobile vendors. There's a sub-drop down menu, and you can book your truck. And so it's very similar to what other venues charge when there is a food park scenario, except with this, there is the grease dump, there is the electric service, there is entertainment Wednesday through Saturday, I think is going to be the live music schedule. Mm-hmm. So your lunch service is $25, your dinner service is $44, and your weekend service is $65. And trust me when I tell you, there's nothing else out there. And so Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays, I fully anticipate you're going to be at capacity. Did they give you a capacity?
No.
It's got to be 1,500 people.
They put 25,000 square feet, so I don't know how many people you can fit in 25,000 square feet, but that's got to be a lot of people.
So I think we're going to have on later on in the program tonight Vitor Abreu, and he is a chef and food truck owner out in Bright, Indiana. And he is opening up a very small backyard facility that's kind of,
That's my hometown. I grew up in Bright. Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I did not.
I do want to say, bro, bang up job on. I mean, it's excellent. Like everything you're doing, from the way it's set up, the speed. I mean, excellent job.
Thank you.
I've never dealt with
appreciate
you before in business,
Yeah.
but you're a heck of a businessman, and
appreciate it.
it's
Thank
something as a food truck owner I definitely want to be a part of. Great job. Everything looks fantastic. So.
Thank you.
And the way it's handled has been excellent. You know, sometimes you can go into situations and it's,
Dicey.
it can be a little dicey going in with a food truck, but
Yeah.
bang up job, bro. Bang
Well,
up job.
yeah, we're just, we feel like it's a partnership with the food truck, people. So we know being in the restaurant business is not just about getting a good meal. It's about the
It's an
overall
experience,
right?
absolutely.
So we want to create a really nice atmosphere for, if you're a family, you want to come out there, bring your dog, bring your kids. If you're with a group, have some fun, listen to live music.
Absolutely.
Or if you just want to chill out by yourself and just, have a beer and, not worry
And
about anything.
post-COVID, a place like this is ideal.
Absolutely. So, our kind of part of our deal is to, give you guys the support that you need with electric and water and disposal and everything else that you might need, to do your business. And then, our part is to, to do all of that and surprise and, support you guys in all of that. And then just give you guys an entertainment venue that you can kind of do your thing at. So
That's fantastic.
I think I think this is going to be off the chain out for that area because again, there's nothing really to do out there. I mean, that's if you look at the popularity of the breweries that are out that way,
Yep.
Our trucks constantly get slammed whenever they go out to the brewery locations on that side of town because that's where everybody goes.
Right.
So, given the fact that you have that radius surrounding this facility with not much to do on the entertainment side, I think as long as we put the right music into this place,
Yep.
you're going to draw a hell of a crowd. So I'm pretty excited about, being a part of it. I am so glad that you reached out to us, and let us be a part of this because when we first started in on this project, I know. I had the vision for the lot, but I really didn't think that, I think big, and this guy right here that did these architectural renderings, he's in my head. Because when I saw these pictures, I was like, that's it. That's exactly what I was thinking. If we can make this place look like that, you're going to make a boatload of money.
Well, it's like a little oasis out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you got the highway designation, right?
Yeah. One of the big things that we were able to get is we work with the state of Ohio and ODOT, and we were designated as an attraction. So we will have our logo on those blue highway signs going east and west on 32.
Nice.
So that's about 45,000 cars a day that are going by there. So
hell yeah.
And 32 is the main corridor between Cincinnati and West Virginia. So I not only have we lived out there, but my daughter went to OU, so I've taken that trip numerous times. So 32 is a very well-traveled road. So having that designation and having those signs out there should really start drawing people back into that area. So it's going to be really nice.
We took that trip one time, didn't we, Andrew? It was for Beer Week.
I've taken it a few times.
You've taken it a few times?
Yeah, it
out
seems
to
that
Athens.
Athens has been, that's definitely a destination for going back to our days, probably, Tony.
Yep, I remember pulling in. The very first place we went to was just as you get in. It was I met what's his face down there from Listerman, and there was probably 10 brewers in that one Jackie O's, one little brewery, and I'm like, huh. I was like, where are the other ones, And then by the time we ended the weekend, we had gone to like 8 of them, and I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of breweries in this little town. I mean, they were just like everywhere, and it's not that big of a place. So I was pretty impressed. I had a great time, from what I remember. Yeah. So John,
Yes, sir.
you are going to be set up as a permanent vendor out at the new Hamilton Hub project.
The hub in Hamilton,
The hub
absolutely.
in Hamilton.
We are very excited about it.
And that's going to open September 1st.
Mhm.
And you're going to run through this season and hopefully next if everything goes well.
Absolutely.
Now what we got to do is find Mr. Ken here, a few permanent vendors that can come out here during the season, and then one that can sit out here and service the bar throughout the entire year. So again, all you food truckers out there, if anyone is interested in any of those opportunities, you can get on the website right now, clearmountain.com, and you can go ahead and submit your information about setting up. So we do know that it's going to, and this is the thing about where we're at right now with both of these projects, is that we have a definitive date on one.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get a definitive date on the other.
Right.
So as soon as we know that, we were going to blast that out not only all over social media and host a pre-opening and a kind of a grand opening celebration. But I fully anticipate that if this thing is completed the way anywhere close to this, that's going to be off the chain. So I think it's a great opportunity for you guys. Now, during the off season, the bar obviously is going to be the main focus, and I think the capacity in there. I don't remember what the last seating sign was, like 85 to 100 or something like that. But I think that's changing because you're doing some moving around of things, right?
We are. We're moving some stuff around. It was really set up as a restaurant, and now we're trying to set it up more as a bar than a restaurant.
Right.
But we got multiple TVs in there. We'll set up for kind of almost like a sports bar venue, where people can come in, watch football game, basketball game, baseball, whatever it might be. And then obviously with the food court, with the food truck opportunity, to have, if there's one or two, obviously to be able to serve food throughout the wintertime. But because people will have an opportunity to maybe have a festival out there or have a private event out there, we want to keep our options open for the park itself. If you get a break in some weather and we have a couple of nice days, I mean, who knows? We just open it up for those days. I mean, being in the restaurant business, if you got a patio and if you get a nice day, you take advantage of that nice day. So no matter what day it is. Yep. So, and we really do hope to. Not sure how long we can go into the fall and winter, but where the shipping container is, where the bands will be playing, we also plan on putting 2 large screen TVs out there. So on a Saturday afternoon, if somebody wants to watch a college game and hang out and eat some food, and Saturday afternoon, I mean, it'd be a perfect place to do that. So, and then
That's
of course,
fantastic.
in the wintertime, maybe some NFL football games. So we're, it's kind of it's a project. It's in motion. We're kind of shooting by the hip. It's especially on the hours and the days, of course, now. So we're, but I think it's going to be a good project. We've we put a lot of thought into it, and we wanted to make sure that we did everything we could to support the truckers again. So, we're hoping to have that date set for you, hopefully by the end of the week, Tony. So.
Okay, you heard it here on Food Trucker Magazine. We got an opening date coming by Friday.
So, well, we got electric. We got electric turned on. So that was a big deal, getting Duke to flip a switch. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the panel itself, when I was out there last, had just been installed, and I mean, it's the real deal.
600 amps.
Yep. So he was asking me, how much power does a food truck pull? And I said, well, ideally, if you can give a truck 30 amps, I said, that's enough to power just about everything in their unit. And I said, but some of the trucks I know out there could use 50 amps.
I use 50 amp 220 right now.
Yeah, and
as long as I get
said,
the
if they had their option on
I
a
can.
pedestal, of whether or not they want to plug in the 30 or 50, I said the majority of them are probably going to use the 50.
Yeah.
So they can run their air conditioners and whatever else they might have and not have any problems.
Steam tables and everything.
And I said, so if you're running 50 amps and you've got, X amount of pedestals, well, right there, and then you've got to run your band sound, and that's going to require, clear, precise, at least, X amount of amp. And by the time we totaled it up, I'm like, yeah, you're going to need a big panel. And they put it in, and they dropped the line to it. So we got all the power in the world out there. That's awesome.
That's great.
Well, it was. It was a little harrowing there initially because we were basing everything off of the 30 amp, quotation. So we figured 8 trucks. That's 240. So we were telling Duke 400 amp transformer, and so there was a certain cost to that. And then when we recalculated everything at 30 to 50, and I had to jump it to 600 amps. So that. Not only was that not an issue, but it changed everything with Duke. But it also, all the guts to that distribution center really ramped up. I mean, he had that's a special order kind of thing, and that's part of the reason it's been taking us a little bit of time to get it going because that's.
So it's all my fault.
No, not at all, not at all.
Yeah, it is.
We're still waiting for liquor, and that had nothing to do with any of that. So but. It is your fault that I'm a lot broker than I am.
That's right.
That is definitely your fault.
Yeah, my dad taught me at an early age. He said, "You know what your best investment is?" I said, "No, what, Dad?" He said, "Spend other people's money." Okay,
well, you learned well, my friend.
He did, didn't he?
That's all right.
That's okay. It's worth it. It's worth it.
I mean, I think you're gonna make that back in a heartbeat with this place. So
we're really happy. We're really happy with the direction. And all kidding aside, we're just thrilled to be partnering up with you guys, Tony, you and your team.
Yeah, I like the way that the logo came out. Like I said, I think it was missing the one thing, and so we created the logo with him here in the office one day, and I don't know, it took
2 days.
Yeah, 2 days. It took us a long time because every time we would do something, we'd all say, let's do that. And so we actually had this logo designed without the food truck in it.
Oh.
And I think you were gone like 3 days, and I kept looking at it, and I'm like, the fork and knife is just really not doing it for me. So I took the image of the food truck, and I put it right in the center, and I'm like, now it tells me what it is. And then I sent you that one, and I'm like, there you go. Yep. That's the logo.
It was perfect.
Yeah, it came out nice, so I like it. So I'm pretty excited and stoked. So now I
got my food truck on there. Orange,
orange,
all orange, just like my food truck.
Well, you're gonna have to get another one.
You must have been thinking of me, buddy.
You're gonna have to get another one if you want to put out.
Well, I want to do a storage container eventually. The storage container ones.
Oh yeah, we talked about
where
that.
it's more permanent units throughout Cincinnati. When we get to that point.
So. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't, John. I have beat that bush with the city. I beat that bush with Hamilton County, the state of Ohio. I have had conversations with the health department in the state of Ohio. They will not permit a shipping container.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Even if it's mobile?
If it's mounted to a trailer, yes.
That is crazy.
The very essence and the word shipping container means that you can pick the stupid thing up and move it. But unless it has wheels underneath it or wheels on it and can be picked up by a truck or something else mobile, it is considered a stationary building and has to be permitted as such.
We could put it as a low rider, and then like with Hot Wheels, they just have those little axles underneath them, and you just push them.
Just bury a roller skate.
There you go, something.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they will not give a permit to a shipping container to be used as a restaurant.
That's a shame because they're killing it in Michigan and Texas, and that's all those guys are doing. They're not building brick and mortar; they're building using the shipping containers. And they're incredible looking.
Northern Kentucky is shipping containers, right?
And so when we went up, so we were consultants with the park over in Covington. Those guys came to us and asked us, we would like to put food trucks down here on this lot in downtown Covington. And I immediately told them, I said, in my experience in establishing the code, I said, you have to have permanent vendors. You have to have permanent food vendors because if you go there as a customer and there's no food there because the trucks are busy and they're out at the festival or it's a rainy day or whatever, I said, that customer's not coming back, period. I said, so my suggestion is, why don't you do what some of the forward other thinking cities are doing, like California and San Diego, and all, build a shipping container park. I said, get shipping containers down. Well, there was no laws on the books in Kentucky for shipping containers until they put those in down there in Covington. And from what I understand, they're enough involved in the government and the community and have the connections to get those passed, without any issues. And so they passed those laws permitting the shipping containers on that side of the river. So now they're at Newport on a levee, and they're at the yard in Covington, and, no problem.
Are they being successful? I haven't been to the Covington one.
Yeah, I think they're all doing pretty well. But my point is that, it's that easy to make that change unless you're in Ohio, For some reason, they just have it, in their mindset that that's a permanent structure when indeed it's not. The name of it is shipping container. I went back and forth with them, brother. I tried to argue my case, and they're like, well, if you really want to, you have to get it on the ballot, and you have to bring it in front of,
On the ballot?
Yeah, you got.
Are you serious?
You got to get it voted. It's got to be voted with enough votes in order to present it to legislation in order to change the law or amend the law. And I'm like, well, what's that process? 3 to 5 years. I'm like, all right, how about you just kiss my ass and still stay 20 years behind the line? I don't care. We're trying to bring something revolutionary to Ohio.
Well, they messed up with Newport on the levee anyway. That too. I mean, it's a consistent pattern with Ohio, so it's not surprising.
Well, if you want to sit there and twiddle your thumbs over, red tape, go ahead. I mean, we're just trying to keep,
and bring
younger
business
generation here in our
Absolutely.
state. You always wonder, how do we retain? Well, you know what? You do creative things. You think outside the box and you bring new innovative stuff to the market.
That's right.
That's how you keep the younger generation here,
Mm-hmm.
and they just don't get it,
So it's not just like a Cincinnati, Hamilton County, Claremont County. It's
the entire
statewide.
state of Ohio. Yes.
That seems ridiculous.
It is, and I went back and forth with the health department in Columbus, and there's just no getting around it unless you want to, go through that process on the legislative side and make those changes.
Who's got that kind of time and money?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to go to bat for a lot of people, but that's a little, beyond my
Absolutely.
beyond the realm of what I want to invest time in. Now, it is what it is. So, but now if I take that same shipping container and I buy a flatbed trailer and I mount it on that trailer where it's mobile, it's now a mobile unit. Because it can be moved. And I'm like, it's a shipping container. I got a forklift and put it on that damn trailer and I can still move it, It's just crazy. I don't know. I felt like having a beer with Governor DeWine saying, hey, all these yahoos you got working underneath you, what's going on with these guys? You want to keep people here? That's cool. So, anyways, so we're pretty excited, Kim. I'm glad you were able to come out and give the lowdown. I know there was a lot of people on the Facebook page that were interested in, tonight's conversation. And
great.
Now we just got to start booking some entertainment in. Again, as soon as we got that opening date.
Friday.
Oh, we're opening Friday. Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? Any trucks available this coming weekend? No, we're not opening Friday.
No pressure.
None ever.
You've just invested all this money, and there's no pressure at all.
No.
So on the tap side of things out there, since we have our favorite beer connoisseur here, Gnarly Gnome.
Speaking of beer, everybody's got one but me, Tony.
Well, I was not sure you were going to be drinking with us.
Yeah, I would love to have a beer.
Hang on, folks. I'll be
Cheers,
right back.
by the way.
Right?
So I have MGD, and I have Gamma Bomb, and I have Zombie Dust, and I have...
I just don't like IPA, so anything but an IPA I'm good with.
I could use a refresh too.
And I have a
while you're at the fridge.
Oh, that's my back.
Thank you, my friend.
You are welcome, brother.
There we go. Now we can
Now
go
we're
cheers.
talking. Yeah, cheers.
All right. Andrew, you want a man treat?
Sure.
It's yours anyway, right?
I'm just going to stop by every Tuesday. you don't mind, Tony.
Right? Free beer.
Free beer and
If I
barbecue.
would
I
have known,
heard.
there
I
could
thought
have been
I heard barbecue.
I didn't know I
Yeah.
was supposed to bring food. I thought I was just gonna talk, not lick my fingers with all the sauce and stuff on it.
All right. Now we all got a refresh. So
There you go.
There you go. Everybody listening, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers away.
So you've been kind of missing in action lately, and I understand there's good reason for that. So
Yeah.
you've picked up a lot of
Private events.
private gigs,
Yeah.
private events.
We just got back from Gainesway Farm this weekend, and they did a polo event out there, and they own 1,500 acres in Lexington, and that they do horse breeding. Angela has her own wine. Anthony has a bunch of different companies he runs and that kind of thing, but they also run at the Derby, run at all the big races. And we did one on, we went to their birthday party for their son. And the day of the Derby, the evening of the Derby, they called us out of the blue and loved us. And then we went back out. We're going to back out again when they have the horse sales. So it's been a real blessing to be involved and to be able to be a part of that. Incredible family and the staff that work for them has been awesome.
That's
So we've done that. We've done some other big private events. With Gainesway, we don't take a ton of pictures, and that it's more
That's the 1%.
exclusive and private, and we want to respect them
Yeah.
with that. They're an amazing family, but we need to respect that. And then other private events, it just depends. So we don't always post everything.
I got you.
So,
I understand.
That's been a good thing. And this Friday, we're at the Cincinnati. What was it I said? We're actually in the public. The
sports club.
The Five Seasons Family Sports Club, Friday. And we're going to be there, I think, 7 to 9 or 6 to 9. And we're doing some more public events the next few months before we head to the hub, which we're very excited about.
And that is, let's see, that Cincinnati Sports Club is off of Schneider. Yeah.
Snyder. Mm-hmm.
So that's right around the corner from the Silver Spring House and not too far from my place. So we just might have to pop in because
Come on over.
after tonight's podcast for Cincy Food Truck Week, our plan is me and the Gnome, I think on Friday, are going to get out and hit up multiple food trucks and do
You did that last year, I remember.
Yeah, we're
I was at
gonna do
Kroger then.
Yep. I remember that.
And something was happening with my register right when you came up, so I couldn't even talk to you.
We're gonna do some.
Isn't that the way it goes?
Yeah.
When you're running something big, and all the media comes up and something blows up or breaks. Or
We're gonna
doesn't
get
go
out
right.
and visit people in the food trucking business. I think we're even gonna go over to the food truck rally at Summit Park in Blue Ash. That's being presented by the Cincinnati Food Truck Association. So I think we're gonna pop in there and visit with a bunch of their trucks. I actually had Chris Damon from Patriot Grill in here on Saturday. And if you could see the picture of what happened to his trailer, it was not good.
What happened?
Well, the welding brackets on the table that was supporting his 48-inch flat-top griddle caved in, and his entire cooking line hit the floor. So he
my
lost
goodness.
the griddle, he lost his fryer. Everything was just, it looked like, it just looked like he tipped the trailer over and then put the trailer back upright
That's crazy.
because everything was on the floor.
Were they in it at the time, or were they
No,
not?
uh-uh.
Oh, thank goodness.
No, it was he discovered it after he got home from, and it was that bad night of weather, and so he said the trailer was all over the highway,
Right, with
because
the
the wind and
wind,
everything.
yeah.
And so he called me up that night. He actually called me at like 10 something at night, and my phone was in the other room, so I didn't get it until the morning. And I looked at the picture he sent, and I'm like, holy shit, dude. I was
Like a
like,
tornado hit it.
yeah,
huh?
I said, well, bring it up to the shop because I was coming into the shop anyway Saturday, and I had a 1 o'clock appointment. And I said, just bring it up, and we'll take a look and see what we can do. And I opened the door, and I'm like, holy crap, dude. So they had a custom welded table done, to support their stuff. Well, that whole thing buckled. Everything was shot. And so we had to cut that whole entire table out. And then we actually had to get from our friends here at Macintosh Motorsports an engine hoist
I was gonna say, yeah,
into
massive
the
jack,
trailer
Yeah.
in
So
order
you
to
pick
strap
it
it
up.
around and crank that thing up just to lift the plate off of that 48-inch flat top so that
My
we could move it
goodness.
around, because it was just he and I that were doing it.
Oh my goodness.
And so we replaced his entire gas line on that side, and then put in new tables, replaced his flat top back on those tables, bolted all that down, put his fryer back in, ran new gas pipes to that, secured that to the floor. So I think we started at 10 o'clock and we got out of here at about 11 o'clock that night.
Oh man.
But he's back on the road the next day and selling. So, we knocked it out of the park in that manner. So,
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah. So it's a good thing that, that this resource that we have is available to people like that in case they do something like that. But that was not a fun day. That was not the way I was going to plan on spending my Saturday. And so we had the food truck seminar yesterday morning and Tuesday morning. And my plan was to spend all day Saturday getting ready for that, and then spend all day Sunday getting ready for that. And literally by yesterday morning, I had maybe 3 slides done for the
Wow.
for the seminar. And so I'm freaking out. And it actually, it went exceptionally well. And so no harm, no foul, and he's, another food trucker taken care of. So
That's great.
that was awesome to help him out, and he's a great guy and he's got a great unit. So, and my wife Judy, she loves the burgers. So, said you can't get a burger if you ain't got a flat top, brother. So we got all kinds of things coming up this week. Again, for some of you folks out there that don't know, this coming Friday is National Food Truck Friday, and there's all kinds of things going on, including, like I mentioned, the CFTA Food Truck Rally at Summit Park. But there are a number of food trucks that we have signed up for Cincy Food Truck Week that all are running $10 specials all week long, and if you go on to CincyFoodTruckWeek.com, you can pull up all the participating food trucks, and every one of them that you see listed, click on it, and they have a $10 combo meal that outlines what they're serving. So and we have one that's out by you that can't wait for the park to open. She's like, I'm going to be parked there every day. I said, okay, well, as soon as I know, I'll let you know. But she's running a $10 combo meal herself, and it's called My Bitchin' Kitchen. She's got a little tiny trailer, just like Mama Bear started out with, and she wants to set up there as soon as the park's open. And I said, yeah.
Great.
So there's a lot of trucks that are out on that side of town that are pretty excited about this thing opening up. So it'll be nice to have them, because, for that side of town to come all the way to Hamilton and then go all the way back at the end of the day, they're just not going to do it.
Right.
It's just too far of a drive. And so having something like this on opposite ends of town really makes sense geographically for food trucks. So it can go on the east side, you can go on the west side, and have a place, to call home base and set up at. So that's pretty cool. Like the idea and the concept, and I'm glad it's, even though our co-food park project never worked out for us, that's okay. It started the snowball of getting people thinking
And
about.
we learned a
Exactly.
lot.
And we did learn a lot.
Having people there all the time, and that
Exactly.
kind of thing's important.
Yep, and try to ask God not to rain on us for 32 days straight. That would be kind of cool.
That'd be a blessing, wouldn't it?
That was I couldn't believe that, dude. I couldn't believe that. I know this weekend coming up is also Rockin' Taco Fest. That is going to be over at Newport on the Levee. I don't think it's Newport on the Levee. I think it's Newport. What is that wall area called over there? Now they named it something different, but that's happening all weekend. That's June 25th, 26th, and 27th, and there are a lot of foodies that just love the tacos, and so that's going to be a good place for them to go and check out some of the mobile food vendors that are serving tacos out there. I know Tap Taste and Tunes is coming up right here at Voice of America Park, July 6th, I think it is. That Sunday, Voice of America from 6 to 9. There's Tequila Fest down on
There
Fountain
you go.
Square,
Now you're
Yeah.
talking.
July 17th. And then, obviously the big one, which is the Union Center Boulevard Merchants Association, we'll be doing the Westchester Food Truck Rally in August. And that's just some of the events. And so, there are a slew of other ones that are going to be coming on all summer. And honestly, back in January, February, nobody knew if any of this was
Oh,
gonna
I
happen,
know.
Right.
which is crazy because none of the trucks really booked themselves. And I think at our meeting, we were kind of like, well, we don't know what's going to happen. And this was the one in December that we had. And I was kind of like, I would probably keep your schedules really open until we decide, or, the state decides what's going to happen with all this COVID closures and everything else. Is everything going to open back up? I said, "Hey, man, my prediction is probably June, July, stuff's going to start opening back up if we start getting these vaccines into people." And sure enough, June, July come, and now everybody and their mother is scrambling to find food trucks
Yeah.
and get them booked. And it's
That's
like,
how I got to Lexington on that job. They couldn't find anybody.
yeah, it's just crazy how many people want, food trucks to do, and the neighborhoods are kind of, they're kind of drying up right now. To be quite honest with you,
They are.
everything is open, and therefore nobody's staying home, and so they're going to go, to their regular Brio and Bravo and Cheesecake Factory and places like that. For dinner before they are going to be
Back to
obligated
the neighborhood. Yeah.
go to the neighborhood for food trucks. And so the problem is that food trucks already committed to doing the neighborhoods. And so now what we're doing is we're reapproaching the neighborhood homeowners associations, and we're just saying, look, we're going to come, we're going to book ourselves in and honor our obligation, but you guys are going to have to guarantee us a minimum.
Yeah.
And that's only fair.
That's what I ask for. a
So
minimum when I go into those.
yeah, if you're not going to guarantee us a minimum, then we need to find something that's actually going to make us money. I can't go out to a neighborhood and make $100. It's just not going to happen. I'm spending $300 just to get there.
Yeah.
So if you can guarantee us a minimum, we will more than be happy to honor our obligation, and that kind of puts and shoulders the responsibility on both parties. It makes the homeowners association market aggressively the fact that there's going to be a food truck there. And a lot of them didn't really have to do that up until things started to open back up. Neighbors would come in after work and they'd see a food truck there and they'd just go and get it because that was the only option they had. They couldn't go out to a restaurant, and so that's why they did so well. And so now we're just, we're kind of reevaluating the whole situation, but we're not going to back out on them. We just need to let them know that, hey, we need to come out and make money. We're not coming out to do this for gratis. So, and I think that's the way that most of them are approaching their commitments right now. And so far, there's not been that big of a blowback.
Oh, good.
And so that's nice to know that they're willing to work with the food trucks, to ensure that, hey, and a lot of them, they don't understand that minimum and how it works. You're not paying me $500 to come to your neighborhood because most of them have a $500 minimum. You're paying me the difference about what I would make. So if I come into your neighborhood and I do, $450 in sales, you only have to pay me $50 for coming out. And so once that's explained to them how it works, it's a much easier pill to swallow for them, because
Easier
right off
sell.
the bat they think it's $500 for you to come out, and it's like, no. You just owe us the difference between what we do in sales and what we actually have a minimum contract for. And so, once that's explained to them, they're like, oh yeah, we can do that. It's $100 to have you come out. If you do 400,
I moved mine to 750 just to
Right.
say, hey, this has got to be successful because even $500, they're like, $300 or something. It's not a big deal. But when it's $500 plus, they're a little more eager to make things successful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. And I know some of our trucks in our association, they simply have a $1,250 minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not coming out unless you are guaranteeing me $1,250. So, and rightfully so, because some of those units that have multiple menu items on them, plus they have 4 or 5 people in their truck.
Yeah.
Right.
They
You can
have,
run with 2 and be fine.
Yeah, if it's a small mom and pop scenario and you've got 2 people on there and your overhead food costs are not that big, then yeah, they can go out and they do a $500 minimum. But so, anyways, anything else about the park you want to share? I noticed the phone number that we need to get posted. Somebody had commented the other day that. Let me see what we got on here.
I thought I saw a number on there's a number on the website, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, I thought
Yeah, I think we had set that up, and somebody said the line wasn't working, and I'm like, "What?
Oh.
It should be working."
I didn't know, Tony, you were going to bring Sylvester Stallone in to meet me tonight. I was like, wow, I felt special that I was going to be in with a famous person tonight.
You're the only famous one here,
He
baby.
even sounds a little like him, man. I was like, wow.
Yo.
Yeah, right?
Yo, Adrian.
He looks just like Sylvester in the face for sure.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
I
I've
don't
seen his
know.
last movie. He did not look
really?
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's had a lot of work done.
He
You're
does.
you're all natural, bro. I can tell. So you're good.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Oh, man. Well, you blew my cover, man. I'm
I know,
telling you. I was trying to
busted.
just sneak through this, but
That's funny. Anyways, once we have the voicemail and everything set up, so I've got 724-2547. Is that right?
no.
See, probably why it's not working.
Yeah.
We'll get that changed, and then you'll be able to actually call, because we're going to start taking inquiries from bands, musicians, acoustic performers, people that want to try and set up and play out on the east side of town at Clear Mountain. We're going to start taking your open dates and your availability. If you're willing to make that trip out to the east side of town and you're a local musician, we'd love to hear from you. Same with the Hamilton Hub project. We are starting to line up entertainers for the fall, and so what we'd like to do is start a rotation that would service both food parks. And so
That's
you
a
know,
great idea.
yeah, I mean, 1 week you can be over on the east side of town. The following week you can come over on the west side of town. Up in the Hamilton area, and just do a regular rotation between the two parks, and that way. We have musicians that are popular and playing at both locations, and if you're an East Side person, you go see them, and if you don't want to make that trip, you can still go see them. So that's the plan. Anyways, so hopefully you guys have gotten enough information tonight on the park, and we are going to see if we can get a couple of our vendors to be calling in. I think we had a scheduled call in from Vitor.
Are you going to give or did you do it last night, an update on the hub?
We did last night. So if you go back on to the podcast from last night, and so basically where everything is at with that project is it's still on schedule to open September 1st. And we, again, are going to do a couple of nights where it's just a dry run, and then we get into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th where it'll be, open to the public scenarios. But all the underground utilities and all that are just about finished on that. The build-out, the insulation was just put in, and so
great.
They have an inspection for that. I think it was today. But everything else is coming along. Again, they have permit issues just like everybody else does, and some of that slowed it down a little bit. But now that they've gotten over that hump, I think they're going to be full blast forward until it gets open. And so now I'm under the pressure because I've got to get Mama Bear's 1977 Zeppelin done, so they can put that Airstream out there on the lot.
That's going to be cool.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, every time we open the door, we're like, just order more stuff. When it's all here, we'll get started on it. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be quite a project because of the fact that they're setting up there permanently. If it were a rotational type deal and it was coming in and out, you wouldn't have to put all the things that we have to put in it. But people are going to be in that thing over the winter months. And so it has to be warm, and it has to be insulated. It has to be, essentially wind and soundproof inside there. It really has to be, a contained environment that's safe to operate in, because we don't know what kind of winter we're going to have. It could be one like last year where there's not that big of a deal and you only get 2 or 3 snows, or we could get hammered and, it could be, Michigan blizzard weather. I don't know. But either way, we're going to build it out on the inside so it's comfortable to be in there. So, anyways, that thing has a lot of holes in it, and every one of them has to be fixed. So but I think it will be kind of cool to have that type of unit as a part of the backyard out there at the Hamilton Hub. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like in the end. I know we're taking progress photos as we go along, and we'll be posting them out and sharing them. And, we got a lot to do in about a 6-week period, because I told them you have to have it done by August, 15th at least, because you still got to go through inspection. You still got to get it permitted. You still got to go through all that, so you're going to need.
Been there, done that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to need it by August 15th. And so, we literally have about 6 weeks to build out an Airstream. And, they're up in Ohio, in northern Ohio, there's an Airstream builder up there. And I went and talked to him on the phone extensively, and I said, so what does an Airstream project, cost? And I said, and, what's your time frame? And they said, oh, our Airstreams are typically on a used model 6 to 8 months. And I'm like, I was like, really?
Wow.
Like, well, we're going to do one in 6 weeks.
Wow.
So we're going to take pictures as we go. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know. So anyways, we had a scheduled call, but I don't even know if the dial-in's even working. Have we tried it? Yeah, you want to call it? Because I thought he was calling in at 8, and here it is 8:13.
What's he calling in for?
Oh, well, there you go. That might help.
It'll still work, but it just won't.
Yeah, he just texted me. He said, tried to call. All right, so
I'm assuming I have the right number here.
should be 480-2290. Let's try out.
I'm calling right now.
Well, I don't see anything coming up on here. Let's take a look at this. Hang on a second. Let's open this up and see. Thank you all for your patience while we try to figure out what the hell we're doing. We probably should have tried this before we started the podcast. Well, what if he called in on my phone? Can we plug that into the line?
Do you have a?
Headphone jack?
Yeah.
You can try it. We'll see.
I think that's a headphone jack.
No, they usually need a dongle now with the newer ones if it's a
Yeah,
newer
no.
one.
That's not. Hang on a second.
I only know because I have to buy them for my kids because they lose them all the time.
No.
I'm looking for the email address that we signed it up for.
Do you want us to stay around for the call, Tony?
Yeah, if you guys
this
want
portion?
to. Totally up to you. We'd love to have you. And if you got to hit the road, hit the road. I get it. Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more, no more.
I guess it just depends if the beer's stopping.
It's a fridge full of beers.
Yeah, we got plenty of beer.
Well, then I might hang around for another segment or two.
We got plenty of beer.
No, just kidding.
We got plenty of beer. Okay. I can't get logged into this thing from here. Well, anyways, for you guys that are out there still tuned in, sorry, Hang on. Let me try this.
So the gold star's gone in where it was.
Yeah, yeah. And
When did that go out?
At 2018.
Okay.
2018. Yeah. We did,
And then the building's still there, so you're renovating it and doing all that.
We've been renovating it and getting it ready for this particular project. Like I said, with COVID last year, it just kind of sat still.
Yeah.
We didn't really want. We just
We're
wanted to see
begging for money now
Yeah.
from last year. The restaurant revitalization baloney
I know. It's rough.
that everyone applied for and no one got it.
Right.
Or they said it'd be, what is it, 2 weeks or 8 days to 21 days. It's been 8 weeks plus for most of us, and nothing's been done.
Yeah.
So I feel your pain. So did you run the Gold Star before, or was it just a family thing?
Yeah, no. Our family has owned a number of them over the
Oh, okay.
years. We've got one in Mount Carmel and
Mhm.
Mount Carmel
Figure that out.
Tabasco Road.
can't.
We've got one in Hillsboro, all the way out there. We had one on Tylersville Road in Westchester. We had one in Kings Mills in
Okay.
Mason, Ohio. I mean, so we had at one point in time we had about 7 or 8 units.
Sure.
Just my immediate family. But we've, everybody's kind of diverse, and over the years we just kind of did different things,
Yeah,
and so
things change.
we're down to like 3 units now, and
Okay.
and everybody's kind of doing their own thing. So this one here was kind of the last one that we were trying to figure out what to do with,
Mhm.
and this park idea just became
That's so
just
cool.
kind of came about, and
I think it's the wave of the future for
I
sure.
really do. I really think, and people always just think maybe it's just a warm weather kind of attraction, but I don't think so. I mean,
No.
you see them in Minnesota, you see them in.
Absolutely.
My daughter's in Toronto right now, and there's food truck parks up there, and there's
Absolutely.
food truck festivals
Well, and if
going
the
on all the
fire's
time.
good and
Yeah,
people are happy to come outside, and even in the
Absolutely.
winter. I mean, the winters lately haven't been that bad anyway. But
no.
it's nice to get out and do that kind of thing. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah, if you get a mild night, I mean, if you're around a fire or something, I mean, and you're dressed properly, I mean, yeah, some of those winter festivals are great to go to.
Where I'm from in Bright, we just put up a big campfire.
There
and,
you go.
Drink beer and hang out. So but that's winter right there. So
Well, we had ourselves a scheduled call from Danny, who's one of the organizers of the Brews in the Burbs event. That's going to be taking place July 31st, and that's going to be at Sonder Brewing this year. So,
I think I'm going to be there.
yeah, I think you are.
I think I'm podcasting there.
I think you are. We were talking about you the other night. Yeah, Gnarly Gnome will be there doing his podcast, and then we are going to have multiple trucks there on site. I think we have
bye, Judy.
confirmed Rock and Roll's food truck, which was just voted best food truck in Cincinnati by City Beat readers for 2021, and we're going to have Folks in Motion there. I think East Coast Eats is going to be there. And so there'll be multiple food trucks to service over 1,500 beer drinkers. And so that should be a pretty good event. And again, that's going to be July 31st at Sonder Brewing. I know that he was trying to call in. Unfortunately, our phone number is not working yet. We're trying to call it again. So, anyways, it's a Google phone number. So, could be part of the reason.
Google phone number on an Apple iPad. It's like bad juju, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Their vanity can't allow that.
There's no way
I was like,
that's
huh?
working.
And then I think we have Vitor calling in from Vitor's backyard out in Bright. So, how far are you from where he set up, where his restaurant's at in Bright?
From my current place or where
Yeah.
I grew up? My current place is about 25 minutes from Bright, but I grew up
Oh, okay.
on 1 mile road, which literally is 1 mile from that road to downtown Bright.
So I grew up
Right.
on Sand Run.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, Covered Bridge Estates, and
Oh, up there on the left
Yeah.
if you're heading up the hill.
yeah, we
I
call
know
it
exactly where that
call
is.
it Thunder Mountain. Swear to God, if you think the Cove was bad, that rained for 60 days when my father was building a house up there, and it was the very first house on top of that hill. He and a guy
I've
named
always wanted to hunt back there. There's a great big deer population back there.
yeah. Well, if you ever want to, I've got full access to lots of acres out there. If you want to go out there and
Oh,
hunt,
yeah?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, now I know.
Yeah.
You still own the property out there?
Yeah. So my dad passed away a couple months ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear
sorry
that. I
to
didn't
hear
know
But
that, Tony.
my stepmother is still there in the house, and yeah, I think there's I don't know, 14 or 16 acres, something like that. But what was really cool as a kid, and this you're a fisherman, and so
Oh,
you
yeah.
you would appreciate this story. So when they were putting in the 275 connector, the loop that goes around from, basically northern Kentucky. Oh, it's working. Look at that. Is that you calling? Hey, we got a phone number.
So your phone works.
My phone works.
Yeah, just so you know, your phone works.
All right, so now if you're listening, Danny or Vitor, you can now call that number again and we'll actually answer it instead of you trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So anyways, getting back to my story, they were putting in the highway from Lawrenceburg all the way to northern Kentucky and back over to 74, and they had to find fill dirt. And so what they ended up doing is they trudged a big old path up to the top of the hill, and they blew off the entire top of the mountain.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, with dynamite. I mean, every day as a kid, you'd wake up at 7 a.m. and just, and so we'd go over to the edge and we'd watch them blow up, this huge, ginormous top of this mountain off, and it created this huge natural pond, lake.
Oh, wow.
Well, it was probably, 20 years later, the guy that owned that property allowed us to go back there and go fishing. And it was just this massive natural lake. And so the fish in this thing, John, were huge.
Oh, I believe it.
Hang on a second. Hey, bud. Call that number again. We finally got it to work. All right. So anyways.
Yeah, the God will provide fish if they carry on the bird's feet, and it's just amazing. You don't even need to put fish in a pond.
And they're
They'll literally poop them. Ducks will carry them on their feet. They'll poop them out. The eggs,
Really?
everything. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a fact. They'll eventually.
Hello?
Fish will eventually come into it.
Hello.
Did you answer it on that?
There we go.
Hello.
Kids, you'd wake up at 7 a.m.
Hello.
Hello. And so we go over to the
Hello.
Yeah.
You got to turn the background music off, my friend, so we can hear you. Just like when you call into the radio station and they tell you to turn the background stereo off.
Gotcha.
So I'm sitting here with John from John John's Barbecue, and he said he grew up in Bright, Indiana. And we're talking about that whole area right now. So it's kind of funny that you called in.
I didn't know you lived off of Sam Run either.
Oh, yeah. I grew up as a kid. All those woods, man, those were my stomping grounds. That's why I don't get sick, dude. I played in the woods and played in the creeks. I don't have any allergies.
Me too, salamanders. And
Hell yeah.
Right
Catching
on.
snakes, fishing for frogs, and everything,
I have a question. Did you ever go to Rink's store?
Right?
Yeah.
Rinks?
Yeah.
Remember Rinks? That
I
was a
do
cool
remember
place.
Rinks. Yes, sir.
Old mom and pop gas station, little corner store with a deli.
I remember Rinks back in the
Oh,
day.
you know
yeah,
Rinks, yeah.
oh my God. Like it's a 5 and dime, right? Like
Yeah,
it's a
it
5 and dime
was.
store, yeah.
We used to run up there at the Hidden Valley. And,
Oh, yeah.
and try and fish before we'd get
Mhm,
caught.
Get in trouble. I know
Because
guys
they had really good fish in there.
that try to deer hunt that night get in trouble too.
Yeah,
There's some big deer in the Hidden Valley.
Well, I got 42 acres and a cabin, plenty of room for hunting.
Oh, there you go. Where's it at?
Where?
Right off of Mount Pleasant Road.
Oh, you're kidding me, bro.
Nope.
We need to chat. I got kicked out of my place on Mount Pleasant because
Where
they
at?
had other hunters. Ketchum's.
Ketchum's? Okay.
Yeah. So right down that creek line.
Okay. I'm over by Blue Goose.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. There's
I've
some
got,
big boys
I've got
out there.
42. Yeah, I got 42 acres that goes all the way down to Route 1.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ketchums and Blue
Yeah,
Goose.
Man, I see when you talk about deer hunting, you
Yeah.
never know.
You
You're
just
gonna get
never
a new
know.
spot. I got San
got-
Run and Mount Pleasant.
I've
now.
got. Matter of fact, I'll tell you what. While we got you on the podcast here, I'll send Tony a picture you can take a look at. Blow your mind.
Oh, I believe it. I
I
killed
got
I got a 170 out at Ketchum's 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So big one, yeah. They run that creek line real well. So anyway, enough about deer hunting and fishing. We can don't want to ruin the podcast here.
No, we're not. We're just, we're shooting the shit. So let's talk, Vitor, about the backyard and what you got going on out there in Bright.
Well, so what we've got is, an area that we set up for food trucks, multiple food trucks. It's an outdoor venue. It's wonderful. We got a full bar, full covered patio. We've got, double picnic table rows all the way down. We've got enough seating. We actually we're licensed for up to 1,000 people in our area. So our capacity is 1,000 people.
That's big for Bright.
That's big for Bright. Yeah. So we have a full liquor trailer. So wine, beer, liquor, the whole bit, cocktails, all of it. Of course, our food truck's parked out there when we don't have events, and we're running that right now. Beautiful area, nice in the neighborhood kind of deal. Great space, plenty of room to park. It's a really, really great venue.
Where's it located out there in Bright? Is it behind your restaurant?
Yeah, it's right behind the restaurant.
Okay.
Right up off of State Line Road.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 1932 Jameson Road is where the restaurant's at, and we're literally parked right behind the restaurant.
Okay, that's awesome.
Where is that video that I sent you? I don't see it on the Facebook page. Did you put it up there? Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I put it up there.
This is it, John here. So that's the space that he's got set up out there.
Okay.
It's a and then he's also got a B&B, Airbnb.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you have a little too much to drink, you can actually just rent the Airbnb and stay there. This is kind of cool.
We've got that camper park there during the wintertime. A lot of skiers come down from Muncie and other areas, stay in town, bar hop, and then go skiing.
Yeah, the Perfect North, right?
Yep, 12 minutes away.
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
it kind of worked out really, really well.
Yeah, so we went out there a couple weekends ago, Judy and I, and we took the drone up in the air and shot some drone footage of the place. We tried to do it once before, and I went out there. We got everything out of the trunk, and I left the controller at home.
Oh man,
I was like, "You dumbass!" But
that's awesome. I definitely want to come out there because I've got a huge following. The guy who used to own my food truck, I can't think of the original name. It was I can't even think of the original name right now, but he lived out there in Bright as well. We went to high school at East Central together, and we've got a huge following out there. So I'd love to come out and visit you guys.
so you got
Love to have you.
you got barbecue that is from Quad Q on Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
He's out every Wednesday for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes in and sets up. Yep, every Wednesday he's setting up. We're looking for other trucks that want to come out and serve lunch and serve dinner and stuff like that. So we're looking to make it a party spot for multiple trucks.
Awesome.
Yeah, and having the beer trailer out there helps.
Oh yeah, got to keep the beverages flowing.
Yes, sir. So do you have any scheduled plans for entertainment or anything like that?
We're working on that currently. We're going through our rigmarole that we have to do for BMI and ASCAP and all the licensing. So that's what we're waiting on right now. And then we'll be able to, get started on, having live music every weekend.
Cool. So I still can't believe every time I look at that drone footage that has been allocated for 1,000 people, dude. There's just no way that you can put that many people into that space. I mean,
Well, you know what? I say it's a challenge. Let's make it a challenge and do it.
so I heard
Spoken like a true businessman.
yeah,
right
we were
there.
having a conversation earlier tonight, and you had gotten a comment from somebody that was on the health department side of things that gave you per person per square foot. What was that ratio?
1 second. Hello?
What is it?
So it was. They basically give you one person per square 5 feet of square footage.
Okay, so one person per 5 square feet, and how many square feet do we have out there?
25,000.
That's
I'm
125,000 people.
Yeah.
I'm
For your
150 foot long by 55 foot wide.
Okay. Yeah. So
That's a lot smaller.
that's a lot of people that you can fit in there, I guess.
I'm like, I guess we'll just pack them in like sardines.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go. I'm
Of course,
pulling
out
up.
in Bright, all those guys stand there and drink next to each other. You know,
Right.
That's kind of what they do on the
everybody raise
weekends.
their hands in the air and wave kumbaya.
I know, right?
Everybody together now. We'll be doing those country line dance out there here soon.
Oh my!
Yeah, kumbaya, my friend. So
Yes,
what's the
sir.
$4 thing? Was that just the opening, the soft opening thing, or is that going to be a regular thing, or what?
So the $4 deal was a soft opening. You know, we were doing our grand launch of the backyard actually opening, and now Food Truck Week's upon us, so we have our $10 meal deal that we're doing for Food Truck Week, and then we'll have daily features and specials.
And by the way, if you haven't been on to the website to check out what their $10 combo meal is, you need to do that. So run that by everybody, what you guys are serving for Food Truck Week.
So we're doing a combination which has got one of our Bang Bang shrimp tacos, egg rolls, and pot stickers all together with a beverage for $10.
Yeah, the pot stickers you guys do are really, really delicious. So
Thank you.
So I've been out to his place multiple times for dining. I can tell you honestly that he's probably one of the most underrated chefs in this city. He doesn't get the accolades and the awards and the things. He's got them all. But as far as like when names come up and name dropping for chefs, he never seems to be a part of that conversation. And for the life of me, I can't figure out why, because he makes some of the most amazing food that I've ever eaten. But the artistry on the plate that he does is just beyond me. I can never, I'm a meat and potatoes guy, and I slop that shit on a plate and I eat it, He makes the most amazing food and then presents it in a manner that it's like out of a magazine or something. It just blows your mind. And I'm like, this guy, if he weren't all the way out in Bright, if we could just move his ass to Mason, he'd make a killing. If we could put
Well, I'll tell you what, give me the right investors and let's do it.
I know, but you got all that acreage out there, and that's I go out there and it's 45 minutes to drive there. So
Yeah, it's only
I know.
25 minutes for me from Finneytown. So
but if you're a foodie that's listening to this tonight, it is well worth the trip to go out there. And now he's got this little thing that he started, which is really cool. It's called the Chef's Table. And so they built a kitchen within the kitchen. And it's how many seats is that? 8? 8. So you have 8 seats that are right there. And so he does all the meal preparation right in front of you.
Oh, that's cool.
oh wow,
Explains to you what you're having, pairs it with wine, and then there's different course selections. And so you can have a 5-course, a 6-course, a 7-course, and it's limited to just 8 people. And so each package, and typically it's when are you guys going to start taking those reservations again? Because I know you were booked up for quite some time.
So we opened them back up this week, actually. So we're now taking reservations for the Chef's Table again. Next week, we're already pretty booked for next week. We've got a couple seats open, but that's it. So we're already packing them in again on the Chef's Table.
So I think we're going to put together a group of 8 and come out on a Monday and let you do your magic. And all I can say is I hope you have plenty of wine.
Oh yeah, we'll make sure we get you covered. If I got to bring in a barrel and tap it for you, I will.
my kind of chef.
Yep. It's good to be married because I have always a DD.
no Ubers home. Well, you got the trailer back there. You don't need to drive. There you go.
Did you ever see the Brew City trailer when we had it?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God. we have Vivid Wraps wrap the trailer, right? So the Brew City trailer, we are crafted beer infused sausage, and so on the back of the trailer, I took these two huge characters with beer steins in their hands, cheering each other on the back of the trailer,
Mhm.
you know, and the whole thing was beer bubbles on the back, and so we go to pick this unit up from Vivid Wraps, and I looked at the back of it, and I said to my wife, I said, you know, we're predominantly going to be set up at breweries. I said, and I'm pretty much going to be drinking at beer. We make everything with beer, and we're driving down the highway with two beer characters on the back. That's pretty much saying, pull me over.
Yeah, I get pulled over.
And so from that point forward, every
Neon.
time we did a gig at a brewery, I just kind of had to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. I'm like, oh, man. Because, you know, I don't want to pull away and get pulled over. It just really kind of sucked. I was like, I'll think that twice next time.
That's funny.
All right, so when are you going to be operational out there? What hours are you setting for that?
For the food truck,
Yes, sir, for the
At the
backyard.
yeah, so that'll be Wednesday through Sunday, from 4 to 9 on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and then from basically 4 to whenever, 10 plus, whenever the party stops.
Gotcha.
So that's our goal. We'll be closed Mondays and Tuesdays, and of course, you know, if our food truck's out on a private event, we're hoping to get another truck to fill the spot. So there's still always a truck there.
Okay, so how does a food truck reach out to you to get their truck in rotation if they want to come out there and set up?
Just direct message me on Facebook, or you can call my cell phone number directly, 513-477-8089. You know, hit me up on Facebook. I mean, you can send me an email at urbanbistro.com.
Gotcha. And so we have that I think posted on the Facebook and website page for the association as well. So if people need to get in touch with you, they can. And yeah, I'm glad you guys jumped in on Food Truck Week, my friend. I appreciate that. And we will be in touch with you soon about setting up a chef's table.
You got it. Thank you very much, sir. You have yourself a wonderful night. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care, bro.
All right, tell Miss Heather we said hi.
Bye now.
All right, we'll do. Bye.
So anyways, that's all the way out in Bright. So there's a lot of, you know, people always say, where can I go set up? You know, and I'm like,
There's a lot
well,
of opportunities.
you know, if you're not listening, if you're not, you know, on our Facebook page or you're not tuned into what's going on, I mean, we're constantly coming up with stuff for you guys to do. And if, you know, it's part of your job as a food truck owner to be aware of what's available and what's happening. So, you know, if you're going to be successful, you got to know what's happening around town and be a part and get engaged. So we got some exciting projects coming down the road, and I just can't wait till they both get open. I really can't. I think it's going to be an exciting period for street food here in Cincinnati. But so anyways, I missed our call with Brews and the Burbs, which really ticked me off because I wanted to go over the entire agenda with them. I know that they originally had planned to do that in 2 sessions. It's now going to be 1. And it's going to go back from 5 for VIPs, 6 for general public, and I think it's limited to 1,500 people is what I was told. So I believe there are 500 VIP tickets that are going to be available. They get you in early. They get you free $10 truck bucks to use at any one of the trucks that are going to be out there. And it gets you, you know, your tasting cup and all that other stuff that you get as being a VIP. And yes, the restaurant inside Sonder will be open as well. So Brew River will be also open for your dining pleasure. They're not going to close either. We're just taking off some of the weight from them because there's no way that they'd be able to handle 1,500 people in 4 hours.
It's going to sell out.
Yeah.
It will 100% sell out.
Yeah. Yep. And as the Gnarly Gnome said, it will 100% sell out. And so if you've never been, it's in second year now. I guess this would be its third, technically, because of COVID. So yeah, this will be the 3rd year for it, and all goes to a great cause. All the proceeds are being raised, you know, for a nonprofit charity, and everything is going to be hopefully on the grounds at Sonder this year and go off without a hitch. Past 2 years, previous years, it was at Crossroads in Mason Church. I don't think Sonder has that much parking. I think they're going to do a shuttle service, though. But yeah, Crossroads Church has a huge parking lot. Lots of parking. So anyways, that's going to give us a wrap on tonight's episodes. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate you guys being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Really looking forward, Ken, to the opening date announcement on Friday.
Oh man, no mercy.
No mercy. I mean, he's just
No
like,
mercy.
Well, I got to get things rolling and scheduled, and I'm like, I can't do it unless I got a date.
Just ask him about the Airstream. If he calls Friday, ask him about the Airstream, and you're set.
Yeah,
And he won't even bring up.
we'll bring up that opening day.
Yeah.
No, he
How's
will
that?
not.
How's that Airstream coming along, Tom?
That's right.
See, when you procrastinate, you can
Yeah.
always get them.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
Gotcha. John, always a pleasure seeing you, my friend.
Same here.
Hopefully somebody will be listening, come out and see you on Friday. And again, they're off of Schneider at the Cincinnati Sports Club. And we're going to stop by and see you. And
Great. Thank you.
grab something to eat. And I think
do it right.
Yeah, I think Andrew and I might just probably be Ubering by the end of the night. I don't know. All right, guys. That's it for tonight.
Thanks.
Peace out. Love y'all. And we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Thanks a lot, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
John, good meeting you.
Awesome. You too, Ken.
Hope to see you out there.
Or should I say Sylvester?
Well, there you go.